Hi everybody, welcome back. So we got a new episode of Expert Episodes. I have to remember what it's called. So this is part of JDTV, just slightly different. So welcome Alexa.
Hi Jamie, thanks for having me.
Welcome. So Alexa works for St James's Place and is the Manchester events manager. Hi everybody, welcome back. So we got a new episode of Expert Episodes. I have to remember what it's called. So this is part of JDTV, just slightly different. So welcome Alexa.
Hi Jamie, thanks for having me.
Welcome. So Alexa works for St James's Place and is the Manchester events manager. So a year ago, I'd known Alexa because I'd visited and been invited to some St James's Place in-person events. And then just like everybody else, your world changed. So all of a sudden overnight, everything that you did stopped, didn't it, last year?
Yeah, definitely was a big shift in changing the way that I used to do things. And it was just a wake-up call as to what is my job going to be now if I'm not doing events? What is events now?
They were all in person and they were all over the place. So what changed in your role? From what did you do and what do you do now?
Well, before, I think my role just kind of evolved from doing client events and creating events that were an opportunity for financial advisors to learn together and provide an opportunity for them to get closer with their clients. So normally that would consist of either meeting together at a conference in a great big venue or meeting over dinner, maybe some drinks for a nice hospitality type of event. So I kind of was at a blank for what I was going to do with my role, how I was going to achieve that, and what is a virtual event, because that was really the only option I had. So it was kind of like, let's start from scratch and just reinvent it all.
Wow. So that was a big change. And I know because we've taken part in one of your virtual events. So do you think now that you're running virtual events that you'll go back to in person or stay virtual, or will it be a bit of both?
I definitely want to keep virtual events because there's just been so much more opportunity to reach people who might not always have the time to come to these sorts of things, but want to fit it into the diary. I mean, we've got a lot of very busy financial advisors who are always fitting in as much time as they can for their clients, but don't actually have the time to fit in that development workshop that might be great for them. But sorry about that. But I think, the opportunity to reach clientele that are actually based all over the country, the opportunity for financial advisors to create a community between their own clientele is something that has never been able to be achieved before in live events. So definitely keeping virtual events around. I mean, there's definitely some meetings that there's just no point in meeting in person. Let's save that money. Let's use it to do bigger and better things in the right direction.
Okay, I love it. So just explain to me what is a client event? What does that involve for you guys? Because I think whilst I know a little bit about it, most people have just stopped doing all client events other than inviting people to some kind of Zoom conference. But you're talking about something different for your client events, aren't you?
Yeah, so they're not my clients. They are our financial advisors' clients. So St. James's Place has a multitude of financial advisors who actually all run their own business. They do have access to all the resources in St. James's Place. So one of their resources in Manchester location is me. So they have an opportunity to jump on to an event. It might be hospitality, or it might just be a seminar. And they can invite clients, prospects, professional connections to get to know what St. James's Place has to offer, for them to also build a better relationship with whoever it is that they're trying to onboard or become a bit closer with. So I just offer an opportunity for them to not stress about all the event logistics I take care of all that stress for them, and they can actually enjoy it and be stress-free, taking advantage of hopefully good hospitality or, some great content from a good speaker.
I love that. And I think, organizing things like virtual wine tasting, logistically, everything's so much easier now, particularly for something like that, where you're going to be doing it at home. So you don't even need to worry about getting taxis or hotels or anything. It just and even babysitters, it just makes the whole thing so much easier for people, doesn't it?
Definitely. I mean, not only just easier for the clients and the financial advisors, but easy for me too. The amount of times my little boy has popped in saying, I just want to say hi during a wine tasting. I think that's been great. People can relax even more, and they can really just enjoy the event and not have to worry about getting an Uber or not having that last drink because they need to make sure they get home safe.
Yeah.
And I think that that's been great. And it's been so special receiving something in the post. I think obviously we've been working a lot with Harvey Nichols, and they have absolutely nailed how special receiving a box in the post can be. I think that, the clients really feel like the novelty of another Zoom call isn't the same when you're doing a virtual experience. So it has been really beneficial, and it's been so easy to organize in terms of making sure that someone just has the right Zoom link to join, rather than making sure all the dietary requirements and all the other things are needed and met. So yeah, it's been really fun to do, actually.
So do you use many people then within your role? Is it just you, or is there a team, or do you have a virtual team that support you with the different events?
I am technically a one-man band in St. James's Place. There's no one else that really does what I do. So I am lucky that I have the role that I have. I do work with a lot of great suppliers, and normally I'd be, shouting out about all the great venues that I work with. And it's been really sad to know that my little black book of contacts is not the same that it used to be. I mean, some really great people have moved on to different jobs and different industries altogether. So I have to reinvent my in-person event black book. But at the moment with virtual, Karis Tonks has been amazing from Harvey Nichols. She's come in as soon as Harvey Nichols is open up again after the first lockdown. I contacted her and said, this is what I want to do. This is my budget. This is what I want to achieve with it. Can you make it happen? And she's made the process seamless. She keeps coming to me with new ideas. The process is all the stress in terms of the logistical nightmare of making sure the packages arrive and everything, that she's taken that burden on herself. So yeah, without her, I probably wouldn't be able to do as many great experiences. So really lucky to have met her.
Okay, maybe we can see if we can get her on a future episode of this.
Definitely.
So we were talking before we started about the difference virtual events have made on numbers of attendees. Mm-hmm. How has it impacted events for you? Have they gone up or down or stayed the same?
I think the biggest thing is that there's frequency of events now that we haven't been able to do before. Yeah. So now, because it's so much easier to get a speaker, because they're more available when it's so convenient that, they can fit it in. If it's just an hour, they can fit it in. Those speakers that normally would have to travel hours and hours or have to stay overnight, we can get them, and at the drop of a hat. So that's been great in terms of the variety of topics and themes we can cover. And also the clients that we've been able to reach, it has dramatically increased. So it's used to be maybe more the same types of people would come because we'd hold an event in Manchester City Central. So, the people that could access Manchester City Central might come. Whereas now we can send things all over the UK. I mean, we've even sent things to the Isle of Man, something in Ireland. It's amazing. And it's just something that we haven't been able to do before. So I know that we're going to keep virtual events. And I've spoken with Harvey Nichols, and they're like, it's no brainer. We'll keep doing it as long as you keep telling us what to do. So yeah, I think the numbers, I'm always a quality over quantity kind of person. And I think that the fact that we can do a lot more smaller events actually is more beneficial for the experience.
We've noticed it itself, even in our business. We had a virtual event a couple of weeks ago. We had 2 speakers from Ireland and 1 from Germany. We wouldn't have done that in the past because they would have had to fly in and stay over, and it's a day before to travel, then the day of the event, and then the day after. So it has changed things. And we were just joking before about the logistics of organising in-person events, dietary requirements, getting people to book, getting people to pay. I think it's been easily forgotten over the last year for the event organisers, not necessarily for all the directors that just turn up at events. For the people who do the logistics, we've forgotten how much it is. Okay, right, that's really interesting. That now, so we first met, if I remember rightly. So a friend of mine, Greg Middleton, referred me into Sue Hudson, and it was when I came into the office to meet Sue that she brought you in, and we did a roadshow event, didn't we?
Yeah. Feels like ages ago now.
It was ages ago. And then, so interestingly, and this is what's changed. So we met once, then I went and did your 4-event roadshow back in November, December 2019. Kind of connected on LinkedIn and kept in touch. LinkedIn had changed for you massively last year, didn't it? So then we'd kind of stayed in touch, and you'd watched some of our JDTV videos. And then I just dropped you a message on LinkedIn, which led to us doing an event together. So how has LinkedIn helped you over the last year?
I mean, LinkedIn has been my salvation because I love networking. I love to meet people. I love to learn from other people. And normally I'd get that from just going out and joining lots of different random occasions where people are meeting. And I used to be invited to networking events here and there, but I mean, I'd get my fix just by talking to random people, strangers most of the time. But I found that on LinkedIn because of the fact that I basically needed to relearn how to do events. I was like, where am I going to get this information? And I saw some great leaders doing their own virtual events. So I joined those, and off of that, more and more opportunities started coming to light, all off on LinkedIn. So I was like, you know what, this place is great. I'm gonna try and really be active on this platform because this is what I've been missing. This is how I can kind of keep doing what I love to do, and keep up to date with the people that I used to connect with professionally face to face. So I think that I've been able to build a really good, solid community and a really good understanding of how to support others and what they're doing, as well as learn from others. So yeah, LinkedIn's been really good for me, and I see a lot of people actually connecting on the platform that hadn't ever actually met in person. So I think it's something that's here to stay. It's definitely changed from the way that it used to be, and I'm really glad to have connected and been so close with you and Don now because of LinkedIn and keeping the relationship going. I think that LinkedIn will be something that is definitely going to stick in my toolbox.
Definitely. And I love what you say there, because I think a lot of people add connections, but you said supporting others. And I think that's a real big thing, because with social media in particular, a lot of people see it as a place to send stuff out, but you don't always have to post on there. You can just engage with other people and comment on their things and reach out to people, because people ask for help on it. So it's a great opportunity to add value to relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get what you put in. And I think that most of my success in what I do, and the fluke of meeting some amazing people, is because I'm not in it for what's in it for me. I'm in it to make a good connection. And I've been able to find some amazing speakers, some great insight in how marketing and events really fit in together, and build my resume off the back of that. So I'm really excited to continue to be really active on the platform, actually.
I like that. And so we've known each other for just over a year last year when we did an event, and it was the first time you'd met Dawn, but you already felt like you knew her because you'd seen her in the videos that we share on social media. And I think that was really useful to me, because not long after that, we took a break from doing JDTV. Dawn had a week's holiday, then she went on a course, and then we had lockdown. So we just couldn't get together for a while. And we stopped for about 2 months. And it was only when we reflected back on it, how it had helped you get to know both of us, that we started doing that again. Right, last couple of questions now for you. What have you missed about in-person events?
I mean, definitely needing to dust off some of the dresses, beautiful dresses that I have in my closet. I think I miss seeing people in their dress to the nines sort of attire. You know, going to the venue and the lead up to the event, my big reveal on the awesome decor that we've done in the room, that sort of stuff I definitely miss.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, there's some great people again in the venue space that I can't wait to continue to meet and you know, build those connections again, because they've just dropped off the face of the earth at the moment, unfortunately.
It has been tough. Okay. Then thinking about some people who might be starting to do, a lot of organizations have changed and had to restructure. So there might be some people that are new to organizing events. What tips have you got for people, both for virtual events and in-person events? What are your top tips that you would, what would you wish that someone had told you a year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I've learned, but it's only because I got started and just got stuck in. And that's the best way to learn how to make things better. You know, speaking to people after the event or getting people's buy-in before the event, you know, getting people involved in the planning will really help you excel during and after the event. So, you know, I've got a 3-part process. It's always pre-event, during the event, and post-event. What is your plan for each of those parts of the event? So the event really doesn't really ever end after the event. It's how do we plan for next time? How do we make sure that people leave with a spring in their step? And, you know, what was the point of the event? Did we achieve that? So, you know, making a special event is understanding the mission, the purpose of, you know, what's the point of the event, making sure that it's something unmissable, something where people will have FOMO and say, darn, I wish I went to that. I should have gone. Create an emotional moment, something that people will want to capture on film or want to talk about the next day. And how are you going to repeat it and make it better? Compete with yourself and your last event, because you're only as good as your last event, really.
I love that. Event FOMO. That's going to be my thing now. How do we create event FOMO? Okay. Right. And then looking forward, how do you see things changing? Because everyone's talking about lockdown easing and it'd be great to get back to in person. How are you going to do things going forward?
Really excited to see what kinds of things we keep as strictly virtual, but I know anything that's in person will have an element of hybrid in it. And it might be, you know, getting a speaker from one of our fund managers in Sydney, Australia to stream in live right before we have lunch at the Ivy. So I am excited to kind of implement some of the things I've learned in virtual and see how to make our live in-person events even better, take it to the next level. So there's going to be a lot of learns and there's going to be some great new contacts that I make along the way, because things have changed drastically in the world of events. And, you know, next time I do a conference, I bet it'll be more like a TV show than just a stage theatrical affair. So I think it'll be the budget will have to go in a different direction now, which is why, you know, why not save on things that could be just strictly done over Zoom?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so a mixture of different things, some virtual only and some hybrid.
Definitely.
Okay. And then as well, the other thing, with there's all the people that we've met over the last year that we've never met in person. It's going to be nice to get to meet some of those people finally, isn't it?
Definitely. Oh, I've definitely made some great contacts. Some of them are probably in London or around that area. So I'll have to be making some trips out to London soon to catch up with them in person.
Brilliant. Right. I appreciate your time for this. Thank you very much. If anybody's got any questions or wants to find out more about what you do, connect with you on LinkedIn, I guess is the best thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I look forward to chatting with you and maybe have you at one of my events soon.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.